All right. So, what was your first experience with edible?
I deal with a lot of chronic pain. So I'm used to really high doses of things that will put most people down. So when I first experienced it, was great. I was a little suspicious because I was hearing stories about, oh, they're so potent to knock you down. So I started out with just half of one, and I was pleasantly surprised. It didn't knock me down; it just mellowed out a lot of my pain. I deal with a lot of nerve pain, neuropathy from my neck down, my entire body. Low pressure systems move in, and I literally turn into the Tin Man without an oil can. I can't move. My body locks up in pain. And with Deadibles now, I've been finding I get more. I can actually get around more. Like I said, I'm still stoned. I get stoned as hell when I take them, but I'm functioning. I'm used to being functioning at very high levels of consumption of THC. So for me, it's not unless it sounds stupid, but it's like a miracle. You know what I mean? I was on opioid pain medication for 18 years daily. I was supposed to be on for the rest of my life. And then our jackass governor joined the war on opioid drugs, and they painted everybody who uses opioids with the same brush. We're all drug addicts, according to the government information, even though it's all bullshit. So that was the only alternative I had, was to stick with the medical marijuana, and higher dosages were hard to get, so I made my own. I started making RSO, Rick Simpson oil, and that's great, but it is an effort. And I used to start out with a pound of weed to make a proper dose, because otherwise you only went up with an ounce or so. And once you cap it all and everything, you wind up with maybe a couple months supply. But still,
A lot
so
of work.
gummies is definitely, it's a reasonable price. It's a good product. It works for me. How it affects other people, I can't tell you. But I know for someone who went from 18 years of daily opioid use to zero, I went cold turkey at the age of 60, and Deadibles has been able to replace that without incident.
No way.
And I was able to just,
Did you
hmm?
curb off of the opioids, or did you go straight into the edible and that curbed the?
I actually went cold turkey for almost a year with absolutely no help at all. And then I started using more potent forms of THC that I was creating myself. I gotta send you some photographs. I do it all. I make crystallized THC. People talk about diamonds and sauce. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but I make my own. And my THC, when I'm finished, when I want a total processed THC, I wind up with a vial full of what looks like crystals, and it's literally just THC and what I call black sauce or whatever, diamonds and sauce we call it up here. And I learned it on my own, but those are the kind of doses I have to take in order to deal with the pain I have. But I can, and I do. And edibles makes it easier. I don't have to go through all the work of doing it all myself. And it's a reasonable price. You can't beat it. It's just an all-around good product. I'm so proud of you folks. I love everybody in the program that's with the legalized program. It's like a fruition of a miracle for somebody like me. I've been growing since 1963. I've been having to dodge law enforcement shit all my life, just because I like marijuana. And my mother didn't raise any jackasses or fools. We know God didn't create demon weeds. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just crazy people that coming up with that bullshit. Just, I don't know how else I can tell you how good it is. It's just a good, natural product. And for people like me, it works. I'm able to have a life. I can function. Otherwise, I sit in my room in the dark and play with my computer, and that's about it. I can't do much more than that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, I'm in my 70s now. I went cold turkey for almost 10 years before I was able to actually find something as good as this. And that's why I tell everybody about it. Anybody wants to know, anybody I can share it with. I got people up here I've been sharing it with. I don't have to get any more customers here, but I've just shared it recently with some cancer patients who, they are going to die. They're dying, but they need some relief because we can't get any pain meds up here. They're literally shutting down pain meds even for people who need them. Amputation, people having avulsions. You get a 10-day supply maximum. And that's like having a leg or an arm cut off. They'll give you a 10-day supply of pain meds. And after that, good luck.
Just to be specific for the recording, anyone that hears this is actually not medical advice. It's just a personal testimony.
Correct. Absolutely. But just so I'm an ex-EMT license. I worked in the city of Providence as a paramedic, a total of 15 years. So it's like I'm not a schmuck who's just burner or anything like that, just getting blown away all the time. Quite the opposite. I've educated myself in this stuff all my life. I know how to do things in marijuana even today people don't know how to do. I got dispensaries locally here trying to find out my secret, how I make hardball hashish, because I still make old school hardball hashish. Not this Now, they sell teeth now, and they call it hashish. Well, that's not hashish.
No.
That's just the trichomes off the flowers. But they sell it as hashish. It blows my mind.
Label on a lot of things if they can make a profit off of it. There's not
Yeah.
companies out there.
Well, it's all good, but I'm really proud of you guys. I'm proud of everybody in the program who's carrying it on, because for me, the fruition of a lifetime endeavor, a work that I've always believed in. You know what I mean? I may not be up there making a lot of money at it. I never did, but I feel like though I've kept it going. You know what I mean? But not only me, I got friends who've been doing this too underground forever too. Even on the West Coast,
And
I got a lot of friends on the West Coast.
if it wasn't for people like
Yep.
you, then companies like this wouldn't be able to exist either. That will just probably
Yeah.
wouldn't exist if it wasn't for people like you.
Yep, exactly. I love, because when I grew up, it was a tough place, man. I didn't know anybody who was straight. Everybody I knew were drug addicts, alcoholics, or both. And there was a major drug dealer up where I'm from. And this guy was a gubernatorial candidate. He's going to run for governor of the state, and he was one of the biggest friggin' dealers on the whole East Coast. And he had everybody in his pocket, and all the people on the street were all his eyes and ears. And I was doing my thing. Everybody was chasing his tail. And I was doing my thing on the side, not worried about money and all the crazy shit that goes on in the street. I literally grew up in the street. When I grew up, by the time I was 16, I got cut into a stab 3 different times and shot in the back once. And that was just for walking down the street to the store for my mom. But on the side, I was doing this.
Wait,
Well, so everybody was chasing. I was doing it.
Rewind for just a second. You said you got shot before?
By the time I was 16, I got shot in the back once, and I got cut into a stab, knives and stuff on 3 different occasions.
What happened?
So that's why when I turned 16,